I know. Well, I'm about 2 weeks late on this, but I'll do it anyway. What's going on, everybody? This is Chase fan number 9 here, and in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the paint schemes from the Pocono Doubleheader 2 weeks ago, and we'll go from there. Considering the Cup race was a doubleheader, it will obviously be in one whole video since the paint schemes from both the Saturday and the Sunday race were both in it. Xfinity and trucks will be separate as always. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Sorry I'm late on this, but let's just do it anyway. Anyways, without further ado, here we go. First up, we got Quinn Half in the number 00 mane and tail Spirit Untamed Chevrolet Camaro. Looks nice. We saw this one before at both Nashville and Coda. This time Quinn Half did finish the race for real this time. I guess third time was the charm for him, I guess. Brad Keselowski in the number 2 Freightliner Ford Mustang. Looks nice. Just a simple black paint scheme with some white and silver, that's all. The number has a white outline, not white, silver outline, and I like how they painted the rims white, so I gotta give them credit. And you got the gray and the white here on the bottom too, so it looks nice. I'll leave it at that. And he also ran it in race number 2 as well. Austin Dillon in the number 3 Work Rise Chevrolet Camaro. Just a simple white paint scheme with some black details here, and a green car number, and that's pretty much it. Kevin Harvick drove the number 4 Busch Light Ford Mustang in race number 1 with Unibet on the car, and I believe in the second race he ran the hashtag Explore the Pocono Mountains car in the second race. That paint scheme looked pretty cool. Here's Kyle Larson in the number 500cars.com Chevrolet Camaro. Same thing we've seen before. Ryan Newman in the number 6 Wyndham Rewards Ford Mustang. It's got an update to its look. I like it. It's got a picture of, it's got the outline of several famous landmarks like the I forgot what you call it, Sears Tower, Eiffel Tower. I forgot what this was, but it's in like Shanghai. You also got the Chrysler and Empire State Building here. And I believe that's supposed to be the Golden Gate Bridge as well. And I guess these are places where you can use your Wyndham Rewards card, which is featured here in the quarter panel. I like that. So, okay, I see where they're going with this. I also like the white on the front and on the back. It looks pretty nice. And you got some of it here as well. So, I'll give them credit for it. In race number 2, Ryan Newman ran his typical guaranteed rate scheme. Corey LaJoie in race 1 drove the number 7 Nations Guard Chevrolet. I think he ran in the second race too. Tyler Reddick drove the number 8 Kalahari Resorts Chevrolet Camaro. We've seen this one on Daniel Hemrick before, but I believe this one's got a different update to its look. You got more dark blue here on this part here, and you got several bubbles, which is supposed to resemble the ocean, because if you're going to be at a resort, you are going to be by the ocean. You also got different blue patches here along the side, including Kalahari here. So they're trying to go with like a water theme or something to the car, and I actually kind of like it. Not gonna lie. Chase Elliott drove his typical Napa Auto Parts scheme. Almirola drove his typical Smithfield scheme. Hamlin, FedEx, same thing. Ryan Blaney drove the number 12 Duracell Menards Ford Mustang. well, he ran in the first race, but for the second race, he ran Richmond on the hood this time. Chase Briscoe drove his typical High Point Ford Mustang, but he had WebEx by Cisco on the quarter panel. For race 1 and 2, Chris Buescher drove the number 17 Acronis Ford Mustang. We've seen Acronis on with Roush Fenway before. You got white here on the front and on the bottom. I actually kind of like this pattern. It's like a square or hexagon shape pattern, or hexagon pattern, I think that's what it's called. But actually, you know what, it kind of looks more like cubes depending on how you look at it, but it could be either way. But I like it though, because it's mostly, well, I'll give them credit, it's mostly blue here, so I'll give them that. Kyle Busch ran the M&M's Mini scheme in both races. It's basically his M&M's car, but with the minis. You got a picture of Red holding a minis tube. By the way, I used to have the minis before. Those were really good, not gonna lie. And I still eat them to this day. And you got the M&M's minis here along the bottom. Gotta give them credit for some detail and design. Gotta love it. Everything else, just nothing too much. MTJ drove the number 19 Stanley Tool scheme in the first race. We've seen this on his Xfinity car at Atlanta this past March. It's all yellow with the black and the light black with a little yellow in it. So nothing much to say there. And for race number 2, he drove the number 19 Reese's Toyota Camry. It's the same thing we've seen on both his car and several other drivers' cars with the tub of potato salad. They need to put something different. I mean, I like the scheme, but Reese's has more food products other than just a tub of potato salad. By the way, I'm not a big fan of potato salad. I don't hate it, I'm just not a big fan of it. But anyways, Christopher Bell drove his typical Ream scheme. Matt DiBenedetto for both races drove his typical Wood Brothers scheme. Logano in his typical Shell Pennzoil scheme. Bubba Wallace in race number 1 drove the number 23 Root Insurance scheme. It says Progress on it there along the side. Okay, this is an interesting design. It's like a pink color with a little bit of black flurries in the background. It'd been interesting if they painted the number black along with the lettering, but I think white goes well with pink, or maybe that's just me. They could have painted the rims pink to make it look better, unless they're trying to go with what color the lettering here, but could be wrong. But this pink scheme, it's really interesting. It's not every time you see a pink scheme like this, but I like it. And I don't know if it's me, but you can partially see DoorDash there in the background. Anyways, moving on. This one's my favorite scheme from Bubba Wallace so far. DraftKings. I never thought I'd see the day that Bubba Wallace would be sponsored by DraftKings along with any other race car driver, but he was, and he got a good finish out of it. So awesome run for the 23 team that Sunday. It's got the typical DraftKings colors of orange, green, and white. You got bits of orange here on the bottom, along the front, and here along the side, and on the top. Most of the cars usually is mostly black and gray, but I'm glad that they added some of the other colors, like the green on the side and on the front and on the outline of the number as well, because if they just went with an all gray car and no features on it and no color features on it on some of the panels, it wouldn't look good. And there's a little bit of orange here on the front as well, so I have to give 2311 Racing some credit for this awesome scheme. This should be diecast worthy in my opinion. William Byron drove the number 24 Chromax XP Chevrolet Camaro. Now, I've saw this paint scheme once and I saw it again, and this time Byron ran it for real that weekend, and I understood why. Well, this paint scheme got a lot of heat because lots of people didn't like it because they thought it was ugly. Apparently, this is electrolyte green or something. It's a awkward color. Well, well, to be honest, I kind of like the other one better, the rainbow one with the black. I kind of like that one over this one. I'm I'm just not really, well, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, it's got 3 panels of electrolyte green. There's black on these bits here, and mostly on the back and across the top. While most of the front of the car is white, and you got a bit of gray here. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this paint scheme. It'll take me a while to adjust to it. Maybe we're just giving this paint scheme too much flack, and maybe it's much better than. One day we're gonna look back on the scheme, probably gonna think, oh, maybe this paint scheme was good as we thought it originally thought it was. Anyways, who's next? Oh, okay, Michael McDowell. This is an interesting one. This is his number 34. Arma paint scheme. Okay. Don't know much about it, but I guess it has something to do with remote control cars that go at 80 plus miles per hour. Okay. It's mostly a simple black scheme with red patches here along the bottom, on the top, and along the side here, and the red car number. Not too much detail. I mean, I like the simplicity of it, but they could have done more. Oh well. Ryan Priest drove the number 37 Kroger Thomas's Chevrolet Camaro. We've seen this one before. It's nice to have them back on the car. I think he ran this in both races. You simply have Thomas's here along the side and got a, what do you call it, a biscuit or something, and a bagel with cream cheese, and, well, the biscuit, well, the bagel has cream cheese while the biscuit has, like, a square of margarine on it. And you got the Kroger design here on the back, so that looks, it'd be interesting if they did it on the hood, along the white patches, but the back of the panel here is fine. I really don't mind it. Anthony Alfredo drove the number 38 Death Wish Coffee Ford Mustang. We've seen this one already with the black scheme with the red zigzag design here. Not gonna bother. Cole Custer drove his typical Haas tooling scheme. Eric Jones drove the number 43 Medallion Bank Chevrolet. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. drove the number 47 Scott's Chevrolet Camaro. It was nice to see a different scheme on his car for once. Even though most of the top is white, the bottom here is mostly blue with a patch of yellow here on the bottom. The yellow car number made it interesting. They could have painted the wheels, the rims yellow, but this will do. If only he hadn't blown up during the race, then he would have had a lot better result. Alex Bowman, winner of race 1, drove his typical Ally car. Justin Haley drove the 77. Actually, well, Haley ran the first race in this paint scheme, but in the second race, we all know what happened in the Xfinity race. Justin Allgaier had to step in, and I think Allgaier did a pretty good job. I know I didn't do a race review, but Allgaier did a pretty good job covering for Haley. The 77 ran this paint scheme in both races. Haley in race 1, Allgaier in race 2. And that's going to do it for Cup. On to Xfinity now. Alright, peace.